Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Faith in Home Buying, where I love equipping people of faith for the home buying process. And oh man, this has just been just a great month. And I'm so excited for you to tune in today. I love having guests, and I love having guests that are different parts of the community of real estate. And hopefully that sparks people's understanding that real estate is not just the realtor and like the lender. There are many other facets that are in this business. But Keisha Riley, hello. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
She's my special guest today. And a lot of people don't get to hear from mobile notaries. They're kind of like the ninjas in the background that come through, swoop, get the signatures, then send off the paperwork, but they're a very vital role in the process of real estate. And we're going to get talking about that, but even better than that, how I love to play on the word faith in home buying. The aspect of just faith, Keisha's faith, not only just her and what she stands on, what she's grounded with, and we've had some great conversations just about who she is. I think it's going to delight a lot of the listeners, a lot of you today on knowing where she stands and how she stands firm in her belief, and not only her, but her family. And so I'm excited for you, Keisha. Actually, do you have something at least to say just in the beginning? Because before we get started, I'd love you to say hi to people and how they can contact you, just at least on the top of the show.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Keisha Riley. I'm a mobile notary and loan signing agent. I've been so for the past 20 plus years, serving the greater Bay Area. I have, been a part of this process for a long time, and I've realized that it's just not about people go in it for a lot for the money, and it's not that. For me, it's very important to be a part of this process for families. I realize that what I do can be a gateway for people to get like money out of their homes that are needed. I've talked to people that like, I need to get this refinance done because I need to put my mother in a home or something like that. And knowing that, this is like life changing. All that I do is life changing. So it's important for me to be a part of it and just be able to service the people in our area. My phone number, if you want to contact me, 510-410-0972. Again, that's 510-410-0972. And my website is K Riley, the letter K, Riley, RILEY, mobilenotary.com.
Exactly. And thank you very much. We're going to say it again for the top of the next. If you didn't receive that or get that information, don't worry. We're going to say it and repeat it again. But one of the things I wanted to start off with, and I think this resonated, it absolutely resonated with me in this season. It is a Facebook a page that I kind of followed, but this one jumped out to me today. And I believe it's a word, not only just for myself and Keisha as well, but I think it's just a word for just right now. And those that are listening, it's going to be a word for you. I believe it's going to touch some hearts, but it's Apostle Axel. And he wrote this, and let me just give you an excerpt. So it starts off like, girl, get up. It's not over till God says it's over. Our God is a God of dreams. He is the dream maker. And he goes on to say, just because you missed an opportunity doesn't mean you messed up your dream. God is the God of new opportunities, new open doors, new relationships. He's the God who says he will do a new thing in your life, but you have to perceive it, you have to see it, and then you have to, by faith, step into it. In Matthew 9:24-26, the crowd laughed at Jesus at the funeral of a young girl when he said had said that she was not dead, only sleeping. He said, get out and put them out the room. Sometimes you have to kick doubt and unbelief out of the place where God is going to do a miracle in your life. Sometimes you have to separate from those naysayers who are full of doubt and unbelief. And it goes on to say that his word, Jesus takes the girl by the hand and says, get up. And she got up. And the news of it went throughout the region. You may have thought your dream was dead, but had only gone to sleep. When Jesus touches it, it will awaken. And when it does, that miracle will give you a platform of opportunity for your dream to go forth. And what I didn't read to you, Keisha, is Psalm 37 says, if you delight in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. purpose in your heart to spend quality time with him, delighting in him and discovering every dream and desire he has put in your heart. Those dreams and desires become motivational forces that move you forward towards your destiny. Delight in the dream of the God of dreams. He is the dream maker, and he will give you the desires of your heart, and he will awaken that which is not dead, but only seemingly gone to sleep. Dreams have no expiration date. They come from your Abba Father. So delight in him and dream again. He actually wants you to succeed even more than you want to succeed. Trust him and he will do it. He's your daddy God. And
hallelujah.
That, man, that this morning, and I liken it to this is one of the reasons why I do what I do. And, no, it may not be everybody's cup of tea. No, not everybody may not understand, why I do what I do, and, the clientele that I choose to be a part of. But when you have someone that comes to you saying, this is a dream, and this has been a dream from a little kid, or this has been a dream even when they were younger, so have a family, connected and have wealth and never seen it happen or carried out before. And then they finally get the chance to get the keys handed to them. And it's just a light bulb has went off. I can never replace those moments. And it happened a lot. It happens a lot. I can never replace those moments. No money, no commission, no, thinking that I can do, none of it will ever replace the impact that you make in someone's life. And especially when they've been told that it would never happen or that it can't happen, I know we spoke before, but I know you guys had to say about that, Keisha. Go ahead.
I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's like it's like the fire shut from my bones. Yes, it's all of that. It's like, Lord, every time I try to sit this down, there's opportunities being a mobile notary down through like life changes, graduation from like grad school and marriage and babies and all that. I try to sit it down, and I've always come back to it because it's more to, like you were saying, it's just being a part of this community, making things happen for people when they didn't see it possible, and to be able to be a part of that process, and to be there to, if they to pray. I pray right before I go into any appointment, because I don't know what I'm going to face, right? But I trust God that he's ordering my steps, so I'm not worried. But I go in, Lord, whatever it is you have me to do here in this appointment, then give me the confidence and the boldness and the words to do so. And so just being able to be a part of this and seeing people that are really nervous and emotional, it's like, okay, before we begin, can I pray with you? And it sets it sets the foundation, and you never know what it is they're coming from, but I just know what I'm called to do. I'm Lord, you use me. I'm an open vessel, willing and able to be used by you in any capacity. And so my answer is always yes. So when he tells me things, I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, wait a minute. I already said the answer is yes. So let me just go forth and do what I have to do. So then when you're able to be a part of this, and you're praying for people, and you're celebrating their victories, and seeing their growth, and them establishing the generational wealth, right? It's like, thank you, Lord, for letting me be here with you, with this, this family. So I get it. I'm listening to you. I'm like, yes, this is all dreams. We are helping each other, and God is giving us. We're not doing it it's not of ourselves, right? It's
That's right.
So this is why. Oh, yes.
No, I mean, well, it's a good segue. Talk about that, because most people, again, they don't hear about the mobile notaries, and a lot of things they don't know what happens in that particular part, because it is stressful. The whole thing is stressful, but that's the last piece of the puzzle. So talk about why mobile notary. How did you get involved in this part of the industry?
Well, 20 plus years ago, I was working for a large company, and I was injured on the job. And so I said, they were like, well, the final result was, you're never gonna, walk again, well, run again. You're not gonna have, kids and all this. No. I don't receive that, because you don't know the God that I serve. You don't know who I am. I hear what you're saying, and I see what the results say on the x-rays. I'm not gonna receive that. So I begin to pray and really seek the Father. Lord, what can I do now that's gonna help me provide and be able to be, used? And so I don't remember the exact moment. I think I was going through a Cal State Hayward at the time, one of their catalogs, and it came up like, no. I said, what is this? And so I started reading it. I said, that sounds interesting. And I'm like a nerd. I love school. I love education. Knowledge. I love it. So I said, I'm gonna take this class. I don't know what's gonna come of it, but I'm gonna take it. So I took the class, spent all Saturday in this dark, cold classroom, and I'm like, okay, I'm taking notes. And then I took the test and I passed the test. And then it just kind of, I guess, when I passed the test and I started talking to people, and it was what connecting the dots, and it just kind of like spiraled into today. So from at that time there were other things in place that you didn't have to take, like the loan signing, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I was able to learn from people. God put people in my path that were able to teach me what I needed to know in order to be successful in signing loans. And that time it wasn't so stringent. It wasn't such a huge deal.
Yeah.
But that's where I
Yeah.
started. I started by helping someone, someone else helping me. So
Exactly. Exactly. And
yes.
what exactly does a mobile notary do? Just for those that don't know.
Okay, so in any real estate, well, a notary in general, I'm mobile because I come to the client, right? A
Hmm.
notary, we basically acknowledge that we watch people, that we see people sign documents. So let's just specifically, when it comes to purchasing or selling or refinancing, I actually go through the loan packet, and I briefly explain each document to make sure that you understand. There's some questions that I simply cannot answer by law, but I go
Hmm.
through and give you like the most important information. I watch you sign and I stamp saying that I acknowledge that I saw you sign this, or it may be an oath or an affirmation that I actually saw you sign a specific document. And the stamping and the signing and dating is the last process of most real estate transactions. So when I come to the table, I say, hey guys, we're at the end because we're here. So let's do
Yep.
this. Yeah.
That's right. No, no. And so what we're going to do, we're going to, in our next segment, we're going to talk about just kind of what that looks like. And I'm telling you, it's so great, you guys, like, lender, loan officer, realtor, and even down to the mobile notary. I mean, I'm telling you, walking by faith and having these processes are crazy. And I think Keisha probably has a nice little story to share too. So stand by. Faith in home buying, equipping people of faith for the home buying process. I got my friend, my girl here, Keisha Riley, mobile notary extraordinaire. She's going to talk a little bit more about the mobile notary business and some miracles, hopefully, that she's seen in it. So stand by. All right, again, everyone, you are back. And, most people say I don't do this often enough, but again, to reach me, 408-561-7922, or on Instagram at Tamika Ellsworth. You can find me on TikTok, real estate _T. Just wanted to make sure at the top of the segment, I say it again, my number 408-561-7922. Keisha, let them know how to contact you should they need notary services or mobile notary.
Keisha, okay, 510-410-0972. Again, that's 510-410-0972. You can also email me at krileymobilenotary@gmail.com. It's kriley, RILEY, mobilenotary@gmail.com. And you can visit my website, krileymobilenotary.com.
Excellent,
I look forward
excellent.
to hearing from you guys.
Yeah, no, excellent. Keisha, thank you very much. And so rolling into this segment, I'd like to now talk about the kind of the nuts and bolts of what it takes when people get to the process of then down to the signing table pretty much, because if anyone doesn't know, usually the loan process takes about, or actually getting your keys takes about 3 days. So the first day, loan documents, is when she comes in, signs everything. Second day is the funding. And then usually the third day is the recording that happens with the county, and then you get your keys. So Keisha, so what are some things that people should know once they get to this particular part, just about IDs and, what's some major, like maybe some top 3 major things that you really know in this process?
Well, definitely. Please bring your ID. People, say, oh, well, what I need that, what do I need my ID for? Well, I have to identify that you're actually the signer. That, there's not, in this day and time, there's a small part to this that we play that's very concerning, and it's the identity theft situation, which is real, right? I've been a victim, I'm sure, and I've talked to many people that having to notarize their affidavits. But please bring your current ID. If you don't have a driver's license, a passport works. I've also had to, bring like several witnesses or whatnot to say to help identify who they say that they are. So the easiest things to do is to bring just your driver's license or your passport. Um, often there may be like money that needs to be exchanged, or sometimes, make sure you have all that current cashier's check or whatever the case may be. If that hasn't been taken care of before, I am able to take that and, send it back to the title company. So that's it. I bring everything. I just bring you and a smile and willingness to get this done. And just to be patient, because it does take, it can take 30 minutes to an hour. It depends on, the client,
Mhm.
but just to be patient and ready to finish this process and move on to get your keys.
Great. What are some common mistakes that people make that you can kind of identify?
Um, there are some times where the people, they may get their documents themselves and they'll go through and sign everything. And that is a big no-no. So I have to be there to sign. So it basically causes us to go back to the beginning all over again. So if you get your documents for whatever reason it does happen, just hold on to them until I get there. Another thing is signing your name as it states on the line. This is
Mhm.
huge. Um, Oftentimes title may put your first, middle, and last name. And people say,
Mhm.
well, I don't sign with my middle name. I don't even know how to do that. I totally understand it. It's not me. I'm just following what is stated. So people are not really big on, well, that's not my hyphenated name, or that's not right. I understand that. If there's a problem with your name, we can definitely go back and take care of that. But basically,
Mhm.
whatever it states on the line, I need you to sign just that, because it completely reroute everything if it's not done based on what they're asking you. So that's like one of
Yep.
the
That can
biggest
delay.
things. And then that can delay it all the way. I mean, for
Mhm.
however long, to go back to the drawing board. So the
Mhm.
signing of your name is huge. And of course, dates. I am very meticulous when it comes to that. So
Mhm.
for the most part, it won't happen. But just be aware and be willing to work with your notary, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of people, well, I can do this. I want to read it myself. I've had people say, oh no, I'm going to read with you and I'm going to ask all the questions. And that really, really prolongs the signing, and it makes it is not such a pleasant environment for
Yeah.
everyone involved. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
those are the main two. Yeah. Yeah.
What about for IDs? I did a little bit. I did a little stint of mobile notary. What about IDs? Like, what if my IDs expired?
So if you're asking, well, okay, so let's talk about this. COVID has changed some of the rules that we used to stick by,
Mhm.
right? So as of
Mhm.
now, like I have people who are in nursing homes selling property, or bed rest
Mhm.
selling property, and it's like if their license is expired within if it's 5 years, we can still use it, which is so odd, because I'm like, I can't do
Mhm.
anything with this, but because of
Right.
COVID and DMV, everybody being closed, now we can do it. We can use the license. So then sometimes it depends, not always in real estate, but like for trust and things like that, I need witnesses. So,
Mhm.
we will tell you in advance. So I'm really good about reaching out to the borrower, or, the purchaser in advance, to find out
Mhm.
their situation with
Right.
with their identification, so I can give them the guidelines so they can be prepared when we come to the table. So I had a
Yep.
situation just the other day. My client did not do what I asked. So we had to like research and find several people. Can you call them over here now? Because we need to
Mhm.
have two witnesses. And they had started signing their own paperwork. So this was fresh for me. They signed their paperwork and plus the witness line. I'm like, respectfully, we can't do this like this. So we have to start over. Well, what does
Yep.
that mean? We have to start all the way over. So yeah. So
Okay. Yep. No, no. Take notes, people, because this is not even just for home purchase. This is for trust, for refis, for
yes,
just anything that requires, like a stamp, or a seal from a notary. So
a
this is
seal.
very, very
Hmm.
important.
Right.
What about what was another thing? I'm signing. Like, you have to sign together, like, so say for instance, oh, well, my husband's still at work, I thought I could just do it and then you can just kind of sign with my other, partner later. Can you sign at the same time or in tandem? How does that work?
Well, it's a I always tell people it's best to sign together, because that
Yeah.
creates I've had some situations where, like, oh, well, my husband's in New York and I'm in California. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I will do is I will attach an acknowledgement saying that I acknowledge just your signature. And then we will have to, of course, FedEx it to New York where they are. And the notary has to attach their signature saying they saw that.
Mm,
So it's always easier just to have you there at one time. And I understand life presents itself. So that may not
hmm.
always happen. it's possible, but like they will supply an acknowledgement with both names. We can't use that. So it's just a matter of attaching a, and the secondary acknowledgement stating that I've only seen this party sign their documents. So, and then power of attorney is one too that comes up.
No, that's right. Yep.
So yeah, power of attorney is a big one. So that language is usually already in the documents, but I always ask for, the identification and just everything. I lay it out through what we need to ensure that this is done correctly. So when you're asked to sign on the line saying, in power of attorney for this person, please do not try and shortcut the process. We have a means of operating to ensure that everything is done, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed to make sure that your process is done perfectly. So
right. Yeah. Do you have a story to share?
After 20
like
years,
just
I have lots of stories.
but I think one, we have like just a little bit more to go in our segment, but just at least one that kind of just shows that this is why it's good to work with those that have the peace of God surrounding them.
Oh my goodness! So I'm gonna go in the midst of COVID. So it's heartbreaking. I was called to a nursing home in San Leandro, and the wife called. She said, I don't know how I have your pen. I don't know why, but my husband's in a home and we have to sell some real estate in order to pay for his time here. And it's just like, oh my goodness, right? So it's already grabbing it's my heart. And so I get there, and because it was towards the beginning of COVID, so we couldn't go inside. Everything had to be done outside. So they had to bring him out. And just for her to say, well, the notary's here, honey, and this is what's going on. He was, I'm trying to maintain his, I guess, who he was. He didn't want to feel like he was like drifting away. So he was aware and cognizant of what was going on. But just to watch her have to navigate this process with him, it hurt. And she's like, I just can't believe, I can't hug him. I can't touch him. And so we got through this whole signing. And then at the end, he went inside, and just to watch the nurses bring him back in, the doors closed, and she's standing there waving, and she just broke. And it breaks my heart now to think about it, because I said, can I just hug you? I said, I understand we're in the middle of this pandemic, but can I hug you and can I pray with you? And she said, Keisha, I grew up in the things of God, and I walked away from him and just living life. And now I'm in the midst of this, and here you come like an angel asking to pray with me. I said, well, you can rededicate your life right here, because it's clear and evident that, you cannot do this on your own emotionally. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, you guys. I just remember putting myself back there.
That's okay.
And it was like, and right there in that parking lot, she rededicated her life. And I prayed with her, and she said, you don't understand the weight that has just been taken off my shoulders. And it's not because of the process. It's because you made it real for me and let me know that God is still here. I said, God has never left you. Jesus has never left you. He's always here. It's us who walk away from him. I said, so sometimes things happen where he's calling us back to him. I said, this may be that moment. So please allow him in and let him orchestrate this whole situation. I said, I guarantee you what you're dealing with is not caught God by surprise. Allow him to take over and let him have this. Let him do what he needs to do. And so from there, she's like, we began to talk, and I'm like, I think we were out there 45 minutes in the wind and the rain. I didn't care. It wasn't about that, right? And so that was like, that one just grabbed my heart. And I think about that. Like, I pray for her still, like to this day.
Yeah.
So that was one that says, it matters. It matters to be saved and be able to pray for people. Yeah.
It does. I mean, and what a way to wrap up just where we've been just from the beginning ends. It's only 30 minutes, but I would absolutely those that need the services and understand this can go across the board. Remember that every person that you work with, it does matter who you have on your team. And I would absolutely encourage you. Keisha Riley is her name. You had her deets. One more time. What's your phone number at least? 510-410-0972. Again, 510-410-0972. Excellent. God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much, Keisha. And honestly, y'all, look, this is why we do it. You have no clue what goes behind the scenes, but it's such a blessing to see when God works, and even in the most unlikely situations. So Keisha, again, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
Amen. Amen. All right, everyone. Thank you. God bless.